Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Thursday, the 12th of March. All right, now just coming out right at the moment, Trump has just released a range of measures. He has suspended flights from Europe to the US starting midnight Friday. That's going to be in place for 30 days, right? That's going to see the equity markets get crunched. Especially, I mean, imagine running an airline in these sort of conditions. So Asian equities sort of getting hit. The yen crosses, you know what? It's like the boy who cried wolf. This is starting to lose its overall major impact, but they are starting to drift lower. So that's, to me, confirms the risk-off situation. Gold also starting to slowly rally. Now, we'll have to wait till the European session to see what actually happens. But you got to think, you know, when airlines are shut down, it generally impacts the entire equity markets. Now, if you just have a look at, so that's where, the major focus is. So just sort of keep an eye on that. If I just bring you back to, let's clear that screen, come back over here. This is where you got to start reading some of the news now. The Donald, whether he's still on TV at the moment, this is the major emphasis, right? So there's two things happening. He's suspending travel from Europe to the United States for 30 days, as I said, starting Friday at midnight. He's also releasing a whole range of stimulus measures, right? Deferring tax payments, no penalties, all these sorts of things. So that's one thing's going to hit the equities, the other is going to make it bounce. So it's a bit of a collision there. I think overall, this sends a sign that, you know, if the US is doing this, we may see a global lockdown of travel, and that's going to obviously, you know, impact business and the equity markets and all sorts of things. So it's a bit of a major issue. This is as we come into the ECB meeting tonight as well, right? So this is going to be a little bit tricky. I mean, you don't get like trickier conditions. What I had there. So just looking at the overall. US actor Tom Hanks says wife Rita Wilson have contracted coronavirus in Australia. Right, well, there you go. That's going to get some headlines down under. But if you come back down here, you'll start to see where Trump is, you know, these scrolling headlines where he is sort of, you know, releasing the stimulus package, the fiscal policy that the government can do to really kick things along. All right, so that's where, you know, you just got to keep a very close eye on things. Just having a look at the major currency pairs now. I was just looking at dollar yen before thinking, well, is this moving or not? And just having a look at that, the dollar yen is down about 25 points now. So this is starting to roll through the market. It's a bit of a cloud break there too on the downside, which to me could be a potential entry. If I just get on the right page, I'm trying to get you onto the charts. All right, so okay, so here we are here. It's around 104 the figure around the time of the announcement there. So this is starting to build, right? The Aussie and Kiwi, well, they aren't doing a hell of a lot just at the moment, but we'll see what's happening on there. Euro is rallying, okay, on the back of this news, on the back of the Trump releases. So you're seeing Euro up about 20 or 30 points. Now, this is the funny thing about Euro, right? So interest rates are already at zero. They are going to be ECBs coming out today to release some sort of extra stimulus package. It's almost like the Euro, like the yen, because like interest rates are already at zero, there's nowhere to go. So they sort of, looks like they're parking cash in the Euro as a bit of a safe haven trade. Now, with Trump doing this, it's definitely going to force the hand of the Fed. So, you know, further rate cuts have got to be in place as well. If I just bring you back to the dollar index, right? So it's pretty hard to sort of isolate what's happening on the dollar when it's doing different things against different pairs. Now, it's pretty stagnant just at the moment. There's no major move. Dollar CAD is starting to move a little bit higher. So I'm just trying to isolate what pairs are active and which ones aren't. Well, just while I've been talking to you, it's dropped another sort of 20 points, 15 points. Dollar yen is the pair, right? The safe haven trade is kicked in. The other pairs aren't moving a hell of a lot. Euro up slightly, dollar CAD up slightly, you know, sterling up a little bit as well. Aussie and Kiwi sort of just dribbling, but no major impact on the Forex markets just at the moment, except for the yen. So with that, you've got to expect the yen crosses. If I just bring you back to the risk on, risk off page. Okay, I've never done so many screen changes in one webinar. Now, if you come back to this, you are going to start to see these pairs. Now, when I started this, they're down about 0.5%. Now, some of these are starting to move. Aussie yen, et cetera, all the yen crosses. And if you look at the equities, you know, there's a direct correlation. So equities getting hit, the yen and yen crosses are your go-to, right? This is where the action is. Euro reverse, right? So don't think the natural correlation, if Aussie's going down, Euro's going down. There's a bit of a safe haven trade by the looks of it. That's all I can interpret on Euro. So as equities get hit, they're buying Euros. And that's where we are. So when you come back into trying to isolate the pairs, we're looking for different events. Now, this is sort of something that we usually see in the North American session because Trump usually gets, you know, main airtime, wants to do his releases during that, but he's doing it in prime time, giving himself huge exposure. He's going to be loving this towards his election later this year. But all we can do is try and anticipate what the impact is on the equity markets and where that flows through into the currencies. Now, dollar yen's back up at 75. Just keep an eye, if you're in the Asian session and you're watching this now, right, just keep an eye on these equities. If they start to go below -5%, well, then obviously we're going to see that run into the yen and the yen crosses. If they stall here and start to come back, you know, I still say they're going to stay down, then dollar yen will rally back towards 104 the figure. For me, I'm thinking dollar yen's got to be a sell back towards sort of 75, 80, 90 on 103 just for the remainder of the day because this is fresh news, fresh momentum. We'll see how it runs from here. All right, guys, this is tricky trading, right? It's pretty hard to keep your finger on the pulse. There's so many random releases, right? It's very hard to keep up with what's going on. So don't stress out. If you're sort of struggling with where the action is, and I am as well, right? And I've got access to a lot of data here. All you're seeing is the market's reacting to initial news, right? It's the media's blowing this stuff up. It's very hard to work out, as I said, where these things start and stop. Where you get in is most important. Just be aware, placing large stop losses with the same trade size is problematic. If you are trading through these markets, make sure you are looking for, you're decreasing your trade size dramatically. You're still going to make the same sort of cash, but you're not going to have the issue of getting caught out on this. Now, obviously the major event, now this is going to be, I'd say, completely blown out. The ECB interest rate decision today. Now, rates are already at 0, so there's no change there. They may go more negative, but we are looking at, say, further quantitative easing from the ECB, something to do with bonds, or whether they're just going to roll out the printing press and start printing more cash and handing it out. I don't know. But a lot of these European countries are getting locked down. Italy is, and now the European situation with the US, you know what? It's going to put huge amount of pressure on the financial system. All right, guys, that's it from me. I'd just say keep it real, relax, don't get too caught up. Wait for the opportunities. As I said, dollar yen, maybe a chance down through 103.60, but it is stalling at the moment. All right, guys, have a good one. And if you are trading, all the very best. Cheerio.